Townsville, and can I say that beautiful weather in Townsville here today. Usually it's a hot and steamy day, but it's a lot more pleasant conditions. And of course later on we'll be doing the flag raising ceremony, something that I've been committed to doing here every year in Townsville as the start to the year. And then of course the council's putting on a wonderful citizenship ceremony, so we're looking forward to that. I'll give the COVID update first, and then the Chief Health Officer will speak, and then we're happy to answer a few brief questions. But today we have 13,551 new cases, including 4,557 rats. Tragically though, again, it is my sad duty to once again report that 9 people have lost their lives. They are all aged over 50, and the Chief Health Officer will give a few more details about that. And also to our numbers in hospital and in ICU. And what we are seeing is that we do believe that the peak in the Gold Coast is now coming down, which is good news for the coast, but of course we'll see that peak in southeast Queensland happening very shortly as well. So once again, my message is to the elderly people, the more seniors in our community. If you do not need to go out in the next couple of weeks, just limit where you go and don't go into large crowds, because what we are seeing tragically is the elderly people who are losing their lives. And once again, can I please pass on my condolences to the families. This is someone's loved family member, and it's always a heartbreaking time when any of this tragedy strikes. In our vaccine coverage, 91.9% have had their first dose, and 89.2% are double vaccinated. Our 5 to 11-year-olds is 28.17%, which is great, and 7,835 children received their vaccine yesterday, so well done. And boosters, 50.28% of the eligible people have had their boosters. So I'll hand over to the Chief Health Officer.
So sadly, we're reporting again nine deaths in people who had COVID tests that were positive around the times of their deaths. So this included 2 people in their 50s, 2 in their 70s, 3 in their 80s, and 2 in their 90s. Of these, 2 were unvaccinated, 1 had received only 1 dose of vaccine, 6 had received 2 doses, and none had received a booster. So again, our thoughts are very much with their families. I can report that the number of cases across Queensland has dropped in the last 24 hours. That's in public hospitals in Queensland. It was 889 in the last 24 hours, 889, down from 928 the preceding 24 hours. Most of that drop was seen in the Gold Coast, as the Premier has mentioned, so exactly as expected. And we expect that drop just to continue, and we expect the peak in other regions of Queensland, most notably in the rest of southeast Queensland, to be sometime in the next 7 days. We expect that the numbers to peak in metropolitan Brisbane, probably Sunshine Coast, Westmoreland, Ipswich, probably sometime in the next 7 days. We have 47 people in the intensive care unit, which also is down slightly from 51. And of those, 15 ventilated, and again that is down from 18 yesterday. I had the very great pleasure of visiting the University Hospital here in Townsville yesterday, and I can say they are one of the most prepared organisations I've been to. Every aspect of their preparation is absolutely outstanding. The peak here in Townsville, as I mentioned yesterday, is expected probably about 2 weeks from now, but I'm very confident this is an organisation that is very prepared for that peak. In terms of boosters, again, very pleased that we have 1.25 million people in Queensland to receive boosters, 1,250,361 people who had received boosters as of yesterday. boosters that we know are particularly important for those who are most vulnerable, those in the older age groups. But anyone who has received their second dose in the last more than 3 months ago is eligible to receive a booster. I encourage you to go out and get one because there is capacity in the system. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any questions on COVID matters?
Premier, how concerned are you about the spread of COVID in nursing homes, particularly against staff shortages at the moment?
Look, I've raised this at National Cabinet because I think everyone knows aged care is a federal responsibility, and I have raised this at the National Cabinet level. So my understanding is that more PPE has been given out to the nursing homes, which is being done federally, and I've also raised the issue of boosters federally as well.
Premier, are you aware that yesterday a group of protesters gave police officers at the Townsville police station a charge sheet demanding the arrest of several politicians, including yourself and the PM?
Well, that's nice of them. What was that for?
They want a public warrant to seize the vaccines as well.
To seize the vaccines. Well, can I say to them that the vaccines are working and they're preventing a lot of Queenslanders from ending up in our hospitals. So I think they should stop spreading misinformation, and I think perhaps they should go and speak to a medical professional to talk to them about how good it is to have the vaccine.
And you weren't aware of that until now?
No, I wasn't, no. Thank you for telling me.
Did you ask Alan Florence to stand aside?
No.
And do you think you dragged out the situation by not commenting publicly about his position?
No, because it's a very serious report, and I said very clearly that our Cabinet will be considering that before Parliament returns. The government's response is due in March, so we're well within our time frames. But this is, a serious matter. It's a serious decision, and it's a decision that he has made that is up to him. But I think the public wants to have absolute confidence in the anti-corruption watchdog in this state.
Can Queenslanders have faith in the Triple C now?
Yeah, of course they can, and we've always respected the anti-corruption watchdog in this state, and now the Attorney-General will begin the recruitment process for a replacement.
Are you considering watering down the Triple C's powers after so many failed investigations?
Look, there is a recommendation as part of the Parliamentary Committee to have a structural review into the Triple C, and Cabinet will be giving that careful consideration.
And who will replace Mick Brown as the chair?
Yeah, so that in relation to that matter, the Attorney-General will be looking at that. It requires the bipartisan support for the chair.
Will the government support a commission inquiry into the Triple C?
As I said, that's one of the recommendations that the government will be giving careful consideration to, of course.
Wasn't his position untenable as soon as the report was handed down?
Look, that's a matter for him.
How do you think the chair's tenure will be remembered?
Sorry?
How do you think the chair's tenure will be remembered?
Look, that's a matter up for the public, but he has served in that capacity for many years, and I'm not going to seek to have any further comment on that. But I will say that Cabinet will be carefully considering the report that was done by the Parliamentary Committee before Parliament goes back, and I've given that guarantee to the people of Queensland. Okay, I might just let Minister Scott Stewart say a few words, and then we're off to the flag raising ceremony.
Well, thank you, Premier, and it's lovely to have you back in Townsville for the day that we celebrate our 60,000 years of Australian history. And, what better place to be celebrating Australia Day than here in tropical North Queensland. Premier, you've done it now for, I think, 7 years in a row. This one's a little bit more special because we do have a new governor that will actually be part of the ceremony. So it's lovely to welcome her into Townsville, for her the first time in her new official role, although she has been here several times before in her previous role. So, as I said, this is where we celebrate 60,000 years of Australian history. This is a fairly new town when you think about it. We're only 158 years old, built around our port, and certainly has become the hub of North Australia, particularly when it comes to what we do here, and defence is a major part of that. And you will see in today's ceremony, defence will play a major part in our ceremony as well, and we acknowledge and thank them for their work that they do each and every day in keeping our nation safe, and a free nation that we love and enjoy and, of course, celebrate today. And as you all know, Townsville has an extensive military history, particularly during the Second World War. Played an important role in keeping North Australia safe, and we know that there was a number of particularly US military involved here. We continue to hear great stories. In fact, the Cho might even have a bit of a story a little later about his family connection into Townsville during the war. But happy Australia Day, everyone. This is a great place to celebrate. It's a great nation to live in. We have a very rich tapestry of people from right across the world who call Australia home. Today we'll welcome more of those citizens into our great nation, but also welcome them into our Townsville community.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Thanks.
Share that there for you, Joe.